The Hidden Monks of Mount Hiei, the real ninja before the ninja, unveiling Japan's ancient secret order of warrior monks. Mount Hiei, shrouded in mist, rises quietly above Kyoto. To the eyes of tourists, it is a place of temples and tranquility. But 800 years ago, this mountain was home to something far more secretive. A brotherhood of monks trained in stealth, intelligence, and spiritual warfare. They were the hidden monks, the shadows who protected Japan long before the word ninja ever existed. In 788 AD, a monk named Saicho climbed Mount Hiei to establish a new Buddhist center in Raikuji. His vision was not only religious but strategic. From this mountain, one could watch over the capital of Kyoto. To the imperial court, the temple became both a guardian and a threat. For from faith was born power, and from power, control. As centuries passed, the monks of Mount Hiei became known not only for meditation but for influence. They advised emperors, blessed armies, and even decided who would rise or fall in the court. But influence invites enemies. To protect their sacred grounds, these monks developed systems of communication, defense, and intelligence. They became both monks and warriors, scholars and spies. The first records of these hidden monks appear in 10th century diaries, describing silent figures who moved at night through mountain paths, carrying messages between temples and the palace. They wore no armor, no swords, only robes, yet they were feared. For rumor said they could vanish in fog, summon wind, and hear thoughts. Modern historians now believe these legends were metaphors for training. The fog was code for camouflage, the wind for silent movement, and the mind reading for studying human behavior. Their sutras, written in coded phrases, were manuals of observation and infiltration. Within the halls of Enraikuji, a hidden doctrine circulated, a teaching that the purest enlightenment required understanding both light and darkness. Thus, the monks trained not only to pray but to deceive, not only to heal but to manipulate. This philosophy, known as the path of dual shadows, would later inspire the very foundation of the ninja code. The monks built a network of mountain trails, secret shelters, and coded signals. Smoke patterns, drumbeats, and the cry of certain birds served as communication. Through this system, messages could travel from Kyoto to Lake Biwa in less than an hour. Faster than any official courier. The imperial court both relied on and feared Mount Hiei. Whenever rumors of rebellion spread, the emperor would seek the monks' advice. But too much knowledge is dangerous. In secret records, the court described Enraikuji as a dragon sleeping on the mountain, a creature that must be fed, but never awakened. In 1141, tensions erupted. The monks, angered by the court's restrictions, descended upon Kyoto carrying banners and torches. This was not a rebellion of peasants, it was a procession of enlightenment turned to fury. The capital trembled before chanting monks wielding both sutras and spears. From that moment, the term Sohei warrior monk entered history. Their discipline, their organization, and their secrecy were unmatched. While samurai fought for lords, the monks fought for belief. And belief, as it turned out, could be sharper than any sword. In the summer of 1159, Kyoto burned. It was the Heiji rebellion, samurai clashing for power. But high above, on Mount Hiei, the monks watched in silence. They knew the world below was changing. And if they wished to survive, faith alone would not be enough. Within Enraikuji, a decision was made. The temple would not only defend itself but influence the wars below. Monks were trained in military formations, others in espionage, blending into towns, listening, reporting. The hidden monks became a network of watchers, an invisible intelligence far older than the shinobi. Training began before dawn. Monks would sit for hours, motionless, until they could hear the rhythm of insects, the fall of ash, the breath of wind through pine. They believed if one can hear all things, one can move unseen. Thus, meditation became camouflage. Stillness was their first weapon. Historical records mention smoke rituals, ceremonies that produced dense fog across the slopes of Hiei. Modern scholars now believe these were early forms of battlefield concealment, burning wet herbs to create smokescreens during attacks or retreats. To the untrained eye, it looked like divine mist. To the monks, it was perfect strategy. The monks wrote sutras of protection, texts that blended spiritual power with coded tactical advice. One verse reads, "To protect the Dharma, know the enemy's breath." Historians decode this as, "Study the habits and movements of those who oppose you." These scrolls were less about prayer and more about survival. By the 13th century, Enraikuji's monks had infiltrated Kyoto's merchant districts, disguised as tea sellers, healers, or scribes. They gathered rumors and recorded the moods of the people. These reports were carried up the mountain daily, where senior monks compared notes like generals before a battle. Unlike samurai, who trusted steel, the monks believed the sharpest weapon was the human mind. Their meditation-trained memory some could recall an entire conversation word for word. They practiced shadow recall, repeating every sound heard during infiltration, in rhythm with the heartbeat. Soon, stories spread. Merchants whispered that Enrikuji's monks could read thoughts, that they sent invisible spies into dreams. Fear became their armor. The court dared not offend them, for even the silence of Mount Hiei felt like it was listening. When rival temples rose, the monks of Mount Hiei marched chanting, armed, unstoppable. The roads filled with the sound of drums and sutras. Wars were fought not for territory, but for ideology. Japan entered an age where faith itself could start a battle. But power always invites downfall. In 1571, Oda Nobunaga saw Mount Hiei not as holy ground, but as a fortress of rebellion. He ordered its destruction. Enrikuji burned for 3 days and nights. The age of the hidden monks ended, or so history says. Some monks escaped the fire. Records from remote temples mention traveling scribes, who taught silence, disguise, and the art of patience. These wanderers reached Iga and Kōga, regions that would later become the birthplace of the ninja clans. And so, the lineage of stealth and spirit continued. The hidden monks became the invisible ancestors of the shinobi. Their philosophy, balance between light and shadow, still echoes in the discipline of modern martial arts. The true ninja, perhaps, was never born in war, but in meditation, on a mountain wrapped in mist. So the next time you hear the word ninja, remember that long before the black hoods and throwing stars, there were monks who fought with silence, wisdom, and faith. The hidden monks of Mount Hiei, Japan's first shadows, and perhaps its most enlightened warriors. Thank you for watching. Japan's history still hides countless secrets, and we're just getting started. If you want to uncover more mysteries of samurai, ninja, and ancient Japan, subscribe and join us on this journey through time.